YWCA Silicon Valley calls itself movement, not an organization. YWCA Silicon Valley helps change the destiny of women, children, and families, offering hope for self-improvement and resources to make success a reality. We have two guests in our studio from YWCA Silicon Valley. My first guest is Sandra Hernandez. Sandra is the shelter manager of YWCA Silicon Valley. She has been with YWCA for 7 years, first as an advocate and later moving into managing YWCA's emergency shelter. Sandra is a passionate member of the YWCA's team who is dedicated to supporting survivors of violence. My second guest is Maria Diaz. Maria is an extraordinary and resilient mother of two, raising her 2.5-year-old daughter on her own and son who lives in Mexico City. Maria is a survivor, advocate, and recipient of 2016 YWCA Silicon Valley Empowerment Award. I would like to, first of all, welcome both of you.
Thank you.
So, Maria, let's start with you. It takes courage to come down here and talk as a domestic violence survivor.
Yes.
Many times, domestic violence survivors, they don't talk or they don't come out because of many reasons. It could be immigration reasons, they don't know, they are not aware of their rights, or maybe children's family issue. Tell me about your story.
Well, thank you so much. My story begins, I met a man by internet. I was living in Mexico, he is from here, United States, and I feel he was the right guy. He was very cordial, very gentleman, and he always was agree with me in the beginning. So I kept that the relationship by internet for 6 months. After I get my tourist visa, I came to United States, and I was in love with him. So I want to marry him because he told me he wants to marry me. But in the first time when I came to his home and he closed the door, he started to abuse me in the first time. And it was very hard because I didn't know what's going on. I feel like, first of all, he has to talk with me a little bit more, share some things, but no, he started to abuse me. Yeah, I was crying, and that was the first day. So he kept going, doing the same. And he started to escalate the abuse. I didn't know it was abuse because he always apologized. He always told me, it's not my fault, it's his fault, but because I was very pretty, and he just want me. And I believe him. But the another abuse was financial. He didn't let me to go outside to buy stuff or give me money. He took my money, and I can't be free for go to the school or go out. After that, he started to pay the bills, my phone bill, the internet bill. So I lose the communication from outside. Then he started to, the next step is the mental abuse. So he treated me like I was special, so he wants to protect me, but he was overprotecting me. After was the physical abuse. So he punched me in the face, and that was how he kept going, doing little by little, how he tried to
control you.
Yes.
So what I see here, a kind of a pattern here, that he knew that you are from Mexico, you are an immigrant here, or you are coming here on tourist visa, and you have some limited rights. Maybe, I mean, you are not aware of your own rights also as a survivor. You don't know about your rights. And then he left you without money, right? And then, but at what point you decided that, you know what, enough is enough? I'm not going to put up this. And at what point you approach the law enforcement or YWCA?
It's no point. I didn't realize what's going on.
No, you didn't realize it.
Exactly. Thank you. I met a woman in the store. After he punched me one day, he bring me to the store. He say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's go to the store and buy whatever you want for homeopathic stuff." I said, "Okay, yeah, perfect." So we went there, and I met a woman. I think she is my angel. He tried to spoke with me in Spanish, because I didn't speak very well English in that time, even in this time. And she would try to, she invited me to her church. So I start to let her know what happened.
So you started doing social by going to the church, right?
Yes, and I explained to her. And she has abuse in the past.
Okay, she has the same history, right?
Yes, when I start to let her know what happened in my relationship, she told me that is a domestic violence. Go away.
And that's the first time you came to know the word domestic violence, right?
Actually, I was outside, and I was feeling, no, he loves me.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the story. So Sandra, coming back to you, so just now we heard the story of a domestic violence survivor from Maria. So you run this emergency services for YWCA. Tell us about it, and then tell us about. I understand it's a place where you provide 30-day services, but again, when the survivor comes in, what kind of condition they are, and what kind of services do you provide in your shelter?
Yeah. So at the YWCA Emergency Shelter, we provide confidential services, meaning it's in a place where she will be safe from her abusive partner. So first of all, the way someone comes into our shelter is through our support line. Then once they're at the shelter, they are the ones who decide they want to leave the abuse, and so they make the first contact by trying to reach out to us. But it could also be through a therapist, so maybe they're coming to YWCA for therapy services, and they tell their therapist, and the therapist will refer her to the shelter, or they could just walk in through our door, through our front door, saying, I am a victim, this is what's happening, and they get referred to our shelter. So once they come to our shelter, some of the services that we provide while they're there, which we try for those services to be holistic, because we know that women can come in with many very different issues. And so we want to treat them, their mental health. So we provide therapy services free of charge while they're at the shelter. Also, they can come with some physical complications due to the abuse. So we work very closely with a chiropractor, and she provides free services. Also an acupuncturist. So we have free acupuncture services at the shelter. And also we like to help the whole family. So children are can very well be victims of the abuse themselves. So we have children's services while they're there. So
right. So there's some statistics somewhere. It's in New York or somewhere. It's been done that most of the domestic violence survivors, they are between 18 to 35, or some of them are from immigrants community. So in your opinion, what do you see right now? I mean, is there any pattern you see that especially in Bay Area, it's like we are surrounded by, there are so many immigrants here. So do you see any pattern here that, what particular age do you see that more and more survivors, they are seeking help in your shelter?
Yeah, so as you know, domestic violence has no boundaries.
Yeah.
It
doesn't
can
look for
affect
education.
anybody.
It can be any part of the world, right?
Yes, it can affect anybody. And so what we see is women of all ages, and also at the shelter we're all inclusive, non-binary, so we accept folks of all walks of life, all survivors. We're actually getting ready to start receiving male survivors as well. And
Children's?
yes, yeah. Actually children of survivors that come like with their mother. A lot of shelters don't receive children over the age of 12, but we believe in not separating families. So we receive, like just now we have a mom with like a 17-year-old. Yeah. We will receive adult survivors. And there is no pattern. We see women and survivors of all walks of life, but there is a most vulnerable population, which is the younger population. And so at the YWCA, we know this. And so to reach them, we have Safe Chat. So we have a service in which they can text through a website to speak with an advocate. Okay. And that's called Safe Chat.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. So going back to you, Maria, if you have to send out a message to a domestic violence survivor, because my goal here is that even though, let's say, one person can relate the story which you just now mentioned, and they approach YWCA or go to law enforcement, anywhere, I think my show is successful, right? So what message do you want to give to a domestic violence survivor? You can say that what point they should not tolerate and say enough is enough, and they should just come out and seek for the help.
I think this is a very important question, but I believe we have to know what is a healthy relationship. If we know what is a healthy relationship, we can know in what point we are abused from our husband or partner.
Partners.
Yes. So when you are healthy and you have a healthy life with your parents, you will see what's going on, and you will start to see the abuse. Now, you can talk with everybody, but the most important is you have to talk with experts, people who cross domestic violence. Like in YWCA, they have a support group. So you can call, you can assist to the support groups, and you can hear another person's. And through them, you will see in which point you are, or if you have to ask for help, and they will help you and in everything. Yeah. So the most important point is you are not alone.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a lot of people behind you, and a lot of people try to help you. Yes, so okay. Don't worry.
Fantastic. Maria, Sandra, I wish we had more time. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.